Whoa. They're not dumb. They're programmed. And they're running a program that might be a little bit limiting because you're talking to them and you're like, this is logical. This makes sense. Just think. And nothing's getting through. And some of us are nervous about the holidays with some disagreements that are going on in the world. I'm going to help you get through not only the holidays, but every single interaction you have with people who are not seeming to be logical in your opinion. This is Mind, Body, Self Sunday service. It's me, Dr. Simone Alicia, the Self-Esteem Doctor. And this is 5 minutes that's going to change your life. Like for real, change your life today. And we're going to touch on things that are, divine and higher self, inner being, God. And we're not going to argue because who got time for that? We don't got time for that. We're going to elevate. So you're trying to reach somebody. You're trying to talk to them about something that's so logical and so clear. Listen, not only am I going to break this down to you, I'm going to give you 2 examples that will make this so plain you'll be like, And it might not stop the disagreements from feeling like, but it will stop you from being confused about them. And then you'll be able to handle them better. So excited about this already. So you're talking to somebody. What you need to understand is there is a program running. When you have thoughts consistently and emotions that go with them, your body says, oh, we just had a real experience. To your mind, to your body, to this being, that thing is real. That is fact. That is how life is. That is where we get these sayings like perception is reality and you don't see with your eyes, you see with your brain, and you don't see the world as it is. You see the world as you are. That's where it comes from. It comes from a real place because your program is telling you what the world is like. Let's jump into the example so this can make sense. Let's say there's someone who's afraid of dogs. They've got a program in their mind that says dogs are bad, period. There's a picture associated with that. The picture in their mind is the belief system, is the program. So now they're walking along with you. There's a tiny dog curled up, back turned to them, sleeping, tied to a house, can't move. And this person walks up and all of a sudden is in completely paralyzed state of fear. Dog. And you're like, calm down, like just think. Dog's tied up, back turned, sleeping, not even looking at you, and it's this big. Like you could, what? What are you talking about? And they cannot hear you. They cannot see you. They are literally only seeing the picture that is already formulated in their mind. The program. The program says dog's bad, dog's bad, dog's bad, dog's bad. That strikes up all the fear. They are running all the adrenaline, and they are reacting to the fear that has already been created in their mind, regardless of what you're trying to show them. Because you don't see with the eyes. The eyes are a funnel that brings information in. And there are different ways to process that information when it gets in. So to you, you might be seeing something in the political situation, for example. You bring it through the eyes, and then it goes through your processing system, and you update or adjust your information, your belief system, your ideas. Someone else might already have a picture in their mind, all is well, or all is bad, or whatever the varying degrees are that's going on these days. But they bring it into their eyes, and then it stops right there. Right there at the brain it stops, and their old picture comes up, and this is their belief. And it's like, yeah, but I showed you something. This is my belief. Yeah, but sorry, the bugs are attacking me, y'all. They want this message too, all right? But you're like, this is new information, and they're like, but I have my belief. So as you're looking at the picture, they're not seeing the picture in front of them. Are you following this? Because I want you to understand that when you get to these situations and you're going to start arguing and debating and talking, what happens is those pictures are dominating people's minds, their belief systems, their programs, and they're going to speak through the program, not the new information you're trying to give them. I know. Are you getting upset? Are you getting clarity? I don't know. Work with me. So here's another example. Something silly like colors. I'll look at a color and I'm like, oh, that's a pretty green shirt. My husband's like, green? That's yellow. And I'm like, it's clearly green. He's like, that's literally yellow. So there's a program in his mind that says when you see that, like inputting data, like writing code, when you see this, that is yellow. I see when you see this, it is green. I'm seeing the same input that he's seeing, but when it gets past the funnel of the eyes, which is just a way to bring the information in, the brain processes it differently and is giving me new information that makes me say, that is green, and makes him say, that is yellow. Unfortunately, as simple as that example is, it is exactly what's happening in these bigger political discussions and beyond. We are having a revolution now of seeing people's belief systems. So when we put information in front of them, why isn't it changing anything? Why does this new information mean anything to you? What is going on? And then you say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to battle. I'm going to war. And what happens is you turn on those people's fight or flight reflexes. They are like, let's go. And they cannot think. Here's what literally happens. I want you to take this as information to help you to be stronger when you get into these situations. I'm not telling you to accept people's beliefs if they're not your own. I'm not telling you to let people get away with nonsense. I'm telling you that there's a way you can maintain your peace and you can learn how to approach these situations that keep you in your power. So when you want to have these conversations, if you come in on the attack and say, I'm going to convince them, I'm going to show them, I'm going to prove them, what happens is they get into their defense mode. Defense mode means they're shutting down the part of the brain that does logic. So you're like, why can't you think of this logically? Because they've shut down that part of the brain, woken up the part of the brain that's into like defense and survival mode. Nervous system must survive, must protect myself, protect the belief system. They can't hear you. Yes, they might seem like they're being obtuse, and some people might just be being obtuse, but truthfully, the part of the brain that is necessary to hear you, to be able to formulate judgment, to analyze, and to say, wow, that's a good point, let me shift my perspective, that part is off, down, shut up, muted, down, bye-bye, where are you? Can't see you. It's gone in that moment because they've shifted into fight or flight. And the part that says defend, 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 defend is awake, doesn't even know what it's defending anymore. Do you understand? So this is some biological stuff going on, and not just are you intelligent and are you smart and are you logical. So I have some tips I want to give you. I'm way over 5 minutes. If you got to go, that's fine. I feel like I'm going to turn this into some kind of pamphlet or something. It'll be in the newsletter tomorrow for sure, but it might need to be deeper. I don't know. But what I want you to do to try to deal with this is, you can ignore it. Some people will. Some people will hate that. That's fine. That's why we're all different. Another thing you can do is start to engage that person and let them think for themselves. Start asking questions as if you're truly curious. Well, tell me what you feel about that. Well, what do you mean about this angle? And ask questions that make them have to go into their own mind without feeling defensive. If they don't feel defensive, amygdala is going to calm down a little. Prefrontal cortex is going to wake up a lot more and be like, let me think. If they don't feel defensive, they can actually think. And then you can appeal to this intelligent person you thought you knew your whole life. You can find them in there. Other than that, you're not arguing with their actual mind and their actual true self. You are arguing with a defense mechanism. You're arguing with their fight or flight. You're arguing with an unregulated, dysregulated nervous system, okay? Another thing you can do is lead with energy. Some of you will get this, some of you won't, and that's okay. But when your energy dominates the room, you can kind of co-regulate the emotions in the room. A lot of times, though, those of us who are in that state, we walk in the room, we're like, oh, I could feel this energy, I could feel the tension, and we just sink right down into it and we match it. Let's stay up and let them match us. It's too much work. Why I gotta keep my energy up and they get to be, then don't do it. Don't do it. Do whatever you want to do. But what I'm telling you is that if you can keep your energy in a strong enough place, you can co-regulate and you can balance the room. So you have your choices. I'm going to write more about this in Sunday service because in this is Sunday service. I'm going to write more about this in the Monday newsletter and the coaching lounge and get a little deeper. So those of you who want to catch it, it's 6 a.m. Monday. That's when it goes out, and I do not repeat and send it back if you missed it. So get in here and get this, okay? I know this went over, but it was worth it. Please, y'all can enjoy these gatherings this holiday and forevermore if you have this. So it might not make it easier to deal with, like, why aren't you getting this? But it should make it easier for you to be clear on why they're actually not getting it. It may increase your understanding and therefore increase the options you have for how you can manage a situation and keep yourself in alignment, in a high vibe, and not mess up your entire vibration for everything you're manifesting in your life. Oh, I know you felt that. I know you felt that. More tomorrow in Coaching Lounge. Mwah. Get this.